What's going on, y'all? We live and direct Machiavelli Mills TV. Please hit the like button as you come on in. Hit the like button as you come on in. Let's talk about Destination Smokehouse and Mr. Tendernism, aka Unc, and the fact that I think they might be exploiting Unc in the worst way. I'm not gonna lie. From researching some information about um, Walter, Mr. Tendernism Johnson, and Nick Yepperman that owns Destination Smokehouse, and Keith Lee's interaction with he was trying to leave a tip for Unc. It was denied and all of that. I don't know, man. I think this might be a situation that's exploitation in the worst way. And considering that Unc, Mr. Walter Johnson, Walter, Mr. Tendenism Johnson is elderly. Yeah, it might really be a situation where he's being exploited. We would hope not, but I don't know. Iron Will, man, what's happening with you, boss? How you feeling? Brian Russell, what's going down? What's the word? Good to see y'all in here, man. Okay, we building up an audience real quick. A minute and 20 seconds into the live stream. So he's been getting taken advantage of. I think he is. I think he really is getting taken advantage of. And Keith Lee's interaction with trying to leave Walter Johnson a tip and how that interaction went is very telling to me, right? But I'm gonna wait a little longer. I'm gonna wait a little longer, before we dive into the topic. I'm gonna see how many people I can get into the live stream really quick. Y'all know I do these lives really like every day for the most part. It's very rare you don't see me go live on a day, but yeah, man, we finna talk about it though. Okay? We got 20 people in here. Hope everybody feeling all right. Red Texas, he said, "Peace, kinfolk. What's the word, brother?" V. Sheree says, "Owner should have stayed in the background." Well, I think even if he would have stayed in the background, it was going to get uncovered who the owner was, because initially, people thought that Walter Johnson was the owner. They thought Mr. Tendernism was the owner of of Destination Smokehouse Barbecue Restaurant, and he's not. And I think that was uncovered. I don't know how that got uncovered, but yeah. So at some point, the owner was gonna have to pop out eventually. Brian Chapman, what's going down with you? So he was gonna have to pop out for it at some point. When I saw Walter wasn't the owner, I said, Bell said, when I saw Walter wasn't the owner, I said this will not end well. Yeah, a lot of people felt like that. Like, he ain't the owner. And I think what the problem was, truthfully, the optics of everything. It's not just finding out he wasn't the owner. It was finding out that it was a white man that owned the restaurant. I think that turned a lot of people off, considering that Walter Johnson brings the traffic to the restaurant, right? Now, I'm not from Murrieta, California. That's where Destination Smokehouse Restaurant is located. I'm not from there, so I don't know how good the barbecue is or isn't. Keith Lee gave some good reviews on some of the food items there, the brisket, and it was some other items that he said, some other food items that he said was really good. So excuse me, dishes, not food items, but other dishes he said was good. But really, Mr. Tendernism, when he take them glasses off, he when he get up, really not take the glasses off. When he get up and walk away from the food after it's falling off the bone because it's so tender, his personality, his charisma, his showmanship really brings the traffic to the restaurant. You know, so truthfully, I'd be looking like, hey, I hope they paying him handsomely for that. He said the owner brought Mr. Tendenism that Benz so we can be quiet, but the people still on his helmet. See, I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know he got bought a Benz, but I'm sure that was probably what it was, because he know that a lot of folks in the black community looking at it funny style, right? Yeah. Walter is definitely a show pony. He is a mascot for the restaurant. And okay, it's cool if you're the mascot, but you need to be getting paid handsomely. And I'm not sure he is. When you see that Keith Lee came to the restaurant trying to give Walter Johnson like a $4,000, $5,000 tip, he trying to speak to Unc. Unc walking around with 4 different security guards. Now I understand him having some security because people might bum rush him because of how popular he is on social media. But like they denying him to get tips and they denying him from getting access, people getting access to him. And it's like, nah, man, let him get his money. Right? Oxtails was the other item that he said was fired. Right. I appreciate that, goddess of mine. It was the oxtails. But yeah, like he getting denied, like people getting denied access to him. Oh, they turning away tips. I don't know if they giving it. I don't think, I might be wrong, but a $5,000 tip, I'm sure that's the biggest tip he's ever received. He would have ever received in his life. And they got people turning, they turning people away from him, basically denying people giving him that. You know? Sabbatical Queen says, I'm surprised no one knew Unc wasn't the owner. I looked it up when it first went viral. Iron Will says, I'm analytical. So when I first seen Mr. Tendernism's videos, I asked, who was that white man in the back? I peeped from the jump. Right? There's a lot of people that was like, hold on, wait a minute now. Hey, what's going on? He's standing in the back like he the overseer. Like he the overseer. Like, you know, what's happening? And I don't think, and I don't know, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, right? After the Keith Lee situation, I heard that Unc came out saying he didn't want the tip or something like that. Was that true? Was he denying the tip, saying he didn't want it? I don't know how true that is. I heard that. So I don't know how true that is, but I heard Unc was out here. I heard he was trying to, like, he acted like he didn't want the tip or he had no interest in it. And if that's the case, that's a shame, right? Because that tells me just right there that Unc doesn't understand his value, or he's too prideful. And a lot of our ancestors, you know, I should say ancestors are, yeah, well, a lot of the older generation, they are, hold on, a lot of our elders, they got tricked into being super prideful where they don't take money, they don't take handouts and stuff like that, which is something that happened to a lot of the elders in the generation to keep them bottled down, right? I don't take no handouts. Only black people get shamed for taking handouts or taking gifts from people. Only black folks get told that's not good for you to take that. Everybody else, they take it all the time. We get told, don't take that. Don't take no tips. Don't do that. Yeah. Right. Okay, Goddess of Mine says he denied the tip because the white man said Keith should have gave them all the tip. No, 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 no. That's not how that works. Exactly. Why everybody should get a tip? No. Nick Yepperman, the white owner of the restaurant, he knows that the traffic that comes into the restaurant he gotta know that. The reason people come into that restaurant, the food might be good, right? And Unc is the pit master there, right? But the reason why it's gaining so much traction and attention is because of Unc's videos. Now, I'm not from California, but how far is Murrieta, California from LA? Is it close? Like, is it like a town that's popping where people were just gonna be all up in there regardless? But I promise you, I believe that the restaurant wouldn't be getting as many visitors as it gets if it wasn't for Unc and his videos. He bring the traffic, so he should be rewarded. He should be rewarded handsomely, compensated appropriately. Right now, from what I heard, shoot, the money ain't nothing in the restaurant below $20, so they getting to it. So saying everybody should get a tip. Hey, no, Nick Yepperman, the owner, you make sure everybody get their paper. That ain't up to him. Well, Keith Lee got to give everybody a tip. No, no, no. He tip who he want to tip. And if you mad that everybody else ain't getting the tip, you pay them appropriately, especially since y'all making a killing up in there, right? Now you see what this is right here. I can look at this whole situation. and look at it clear as day. They're trying to block Unc from from leaving that damn restaurant. They trying to keep him right there. For real. They trying to keep him right there, like people like you remember on the movie centers, they want to keep people on the plantation by only paying them in plantation money, keeping them there. Oh yeah, that's what they doing here. I think that's what's going on. Yo, we ain't finna be don't let him get that $5,000 tip. Hell no. He need to be here. He need to be here at all times. He get that $5,000 tip. He gone, and all the traffic in the restaurant goes. When Unc leaves, it's done. It's not gonna be popping like it is now. We gotta keep him here. Don't let him get that $5,000 tip. Don't let him. Don't let him get that. Black Mall said it used to be a coffee shop prior to OG convincing the owners to sell barbecue. I had no idea, Black Mall. Now look, you telling me something new. I didn't even know that. So it was his idea for them to even sell barbecue in the first place. He the one making the barbecue where it's falling off the bone. He got the videos with his showing his charisma, his showmanship. People have fallen in love with Unc and his personalities. They coming to get food just so they can meet him. And the owner know that. So he's saying, oh no, we ain't getting him no $5,000 tip. We ain't letting him get that. Because the moment he get that, he gonna recognize his value and he gonna get the hell up out of here, especially if he has family members around him. If he has family members around him that are like cognizant of what's going on, if he got kids or grandkids and they paying attention, I will hope they are, but I hope they parent if he has children or not. I can't assume everybody that's elderly has children because there are elders who don't have kids, who don't, have family like that. Zaire, what's going on? What's going on, Zaire? Said Mac, the white man said all of that on video. He said everything was Unc idea, which is why Unc has grounds to sue. Nat, what's up, y'all? He said the owner reminded me of DJ Vlad, of DJ of DJ Vlad TV. Dude, black people complaining wouldn't lift a finger for another black person. What are you talking about, bro? Yeah, like I said, I don't know what Walter family is. I don't know if he got family like that. But yeah, if everything his idea, yeah, a Benz is that should have been given to him. I'm not impressed by the owner giving him a Benz. If that's all his idea, he should have been had a Benz a long time ago. Cause they sitting on paper, and they sitting on it, y'all. Cause Unc bringing the traffic up in there. So Walter Johnson, I'm gonna say his name, Walter Johnson. He bringing the traffic up in the spot, bro, and everybody know that. So the moment he leave, they know it's done. It's cooked. You said I heard he don't got family, and I'm sure he don't. Cause if he had family, if he had children, grandchildren, I'm sure they would have definitely got a hold on this a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at this like, hold on, man. It just sounds crazy. They're using him as a mascot and just, and then again, if he's denying the tips, he don't really know he being taken advantage of. And sometimes this happens to elderly people. Elderly people get taken advantage of and they don't understand that they getting taken advantage of for real. They don't. Or again, like I told y'all, the baby boomer generation, they have gotten tricked into believing that even accepting tips is like a handout. Accepting too much money is just a bad thing. And a lot of the baby boomers get tricked into believing that. Oh, you shouldn't, don't take no handout. That's too much money. That's a handout. Don't do that. That's a handout. You don't need that. You don't need to take no handout. Just work hard. It's that whole work hard, just work hard to get ahead. That's a myth. That's a myth. And I want black people to understand that. So many people who are wealthy in this country don't work hard at all. They know the right people. They connected to the right people. They were born into the right family, right? So you can work hard all you want to, and you still will never get, a lot of people will never get to the riches that a lot of these wealthy people have. Again, black folks have been tricked into thinking you just got to work hard in this country and you're going to get everything you want to get. No, that's not how that works at all. You know what I'm saying? Success is given, not earned. It really is. A lot of success is given to a lot of people in this country. You know, success is given to a lot of folks, a ton of majority of people in this country, for real. A lot of the hard workers don't get ahead, you know. And so I'm speaking on this because, like I said, the older generation, like the baby boomers, man, they really they really mess with our elders' minds into thinking that, like when I told y'all about Jeffrey Owens, right? Remember Jeffrey Owens that played Alvin on the Cosby Show, Sandra's husband? When Nicki Minaj, you know, y'all know how I feel about her, but Nicki Minaj gave him $25,000, right? After it was a picture that went viral of him working in Trader Joe's, right? And everybody like, man, this man is old. He's an older black man. He, you know, he was on the Cosby Show, a show that ran for many, many seasons, and he not sitting and resting comfortably, right? When people found that out, Tyler Perry wanted to put him in shows. He was on Power Book Ghost, Power Book 2 Ghost, and then Nicki Minaj initially sent him $25,000. Jeffrey Owens took the $25,000 and gave it to charity because I don't take handouts. I don't just, I want to work for everything I have. Man, cut it out. Older black folks have been getting tricked into thinking that they gotta work for everything, and if they don't work for it, they're not good enough to receive it. BS. Like, cause like I told y'all, it's a lot of wealthy white folks in this country that take whatever you throw to them. It's a lot of wealthy white folks that would use food stamps if they were able to get it. So don't believe that this is all, I work for everything. I don't like a handout. I work for everything. No, it's not the case. You know, like that be for real. They always be doing it to black folks. No, you work. You don't take anything. You work for everything. Man, these wealthy white folks, if they was getting food, if they could get food stamps, they would take it. But they wouldn't turn it down. And they lying to y'all. They lying and saying that if they say they wouldn't, they lying. Right? But again, when I think about the baby boomer generation and how they were tricked into believing that they gotta work for every single thing, and if they don't work for it, they don't deserve it. If they don't scratch and claw, and if they don't give blood, sweat, and tears for it, they don't deserve it. I think like it really makes me mad, and that's what I think about when I see Walter Johnson. I think Walter Johnson, aka Mr. Tendernism, right, aka Unc, I really think that he ain't good enough to get that tip, and guess unless he work in day and night and slave for it. No pun intended, but you know what I'm saying? Like unless he just really just sweating all day and night to get that money, he don't deserve it. No. Man, if it's a gift, take it. Don't turn down nothing. When Jeffrey Owens gave $25,000 to charity because he didn't work hard enough, I'm like, I know his wife wanted to slap him. Because why would you do that? You got a blessing and you turning it away? Because I didn't work hard enough. I'm a proud man. Cut all that proud stuff out, black folks. You get a gift, take it. How you know he making big money? What you talking about? I never said Walter Johnson was making big money. Sabbatical Queen says Unc met what he thought was a cool white dude and showed him he's no different than his cannibalistic ancestor. Man. And that's true, Dr. X. He said white people only started hating food stamps and other social benefits after civil rights made them available to black people. That's when that nonsense about not accepting handouts came about. At bingo. Bingo, Dr. X. Because they was cool with it before. When we couldn't we couldn't get um government benefits, stuff like that. We couldn't get that initially, and they was cool with handouts then. They was cool with it for real at that point. You know? Yeah, but I do think Zero, what's the word, bro? Let me say what's up to y'all in here too, man. Yeah, I do think um he's getting taken advantage of for real. And again, this is something that happens to elderly people too. Look how many people, elderly people, get scammed on a regular, right? So yeah, I'm not saying that Unc isn't smart or anything like that. Let me be very clear. But sometimes our elders can be really manipulated very easily at times from younger people who are slick talking, and when they're not really like knowledgeable about certain things, right? And again, man, Jim Crow America and racism did a number on our people where they even undervalue our people, can undervalue ourselves. We can undervalue, we underestimate our value. We don't really understand what we're worth. Like, you know what I mean? We really think less of ourselves in certain times and think I don't really deserve this money. I can possibly get that. Like, man, look, Unc can start his own business today. Today. He can separate, he can cook out his kitchen. And you will have some people up in there coming to pick his food up and get him caked up. He make them videos, take pictures with people. He be all good. He coming in. It's people that probably would buy his food out his kitchen. Seriously, right? That's the power of social media. All it take for real is for Keith Lee to go pull up one time, and that's it. Why are you focused on his age? I'm confused because again, I'm saying on this age because elders get taken advantage of. One, for two, I heard that he denied the tip. Like he said he didn't want the tip, right? And I said, baby boomers of our era, a lot of times they get tricked into believing that they don't they don't deserve certain money unless they sweat and slave for the money, right? Because our elders, my father's a baby boomer, right? So I understand a lot. My father, he don't think like that, but I know a lot of people around my father's age that really think if you don't if you don't work and slave and sweat for some money, you don't deserve it, right? And if he really turned down the tip, if he's saying he not turned down, but he's saying he didn't want the tip, if he's really saying that, if he's saying he don't want the tip, that's something older black folks have been tricked into having that mindset for real. And that's why I'm saying that, sabbatical queen, because older black people have been tricked into having a mindset where if they don't scratch and claw for some money, they don't deserve it. They don't, you know what I mean? Our elders have been tricked like that, and that's how our people. That's how racists have held our people back. That's that old Florida Evans mindset. JJ, you didn't work hard enough to get that money, so you don't get that. JJ, you shouldn't be paid that much money to paint no painting, JJ. JJ, you shouldn't be you shouldn't be paid that much money to paint no black Jesus. JJ, you just don't do you don't need we don't need that much money. Meanwhile, Florida Evans and them is in the projects. They in the Cabrini Green and like struggling. You know, but in their mind, if they didn't sweat all day for the money, if they didn't sweat all day for the money, they don't deserve it. I'm gonna have to talk about that too. And that because that is something that has happened to our elders. And I'm not making fun. When I say this, I'm not making fun of Walter Johnson at all, right? At all. I'm just telling y'all the reality of it. Now, Charlie X, I heard that too. There's a black attorney who tried to get the Tendernism copyright to Walt, and Walt didn't want it. He didn't want the copyright, right? And I heard when the black attorney got the cop because he got the copyright first and was going to give it to Walt, right? He got the copyright because he felt like the owner was going to try to copyright the name. And I heard, I don't know how true this is, because you know you can't believe everything you see on social media. I heard the owner, Nick Yepperman, the white guy that owns the restaurant, tried to get the copyright for himself, but it was blocked because the black attorney already had it sold up and was ready to give it to Walter Johnson. He was ready to give it to Walter Johnson, Mr. Tendernism. And Mr. Tendernism, they said Mr. Tendernism didn't want it. They said Walt didn't want it. And that's what I'm talking about when I say like how a lot of our elders have been really they really mess with our elders' minds a lot, you know. So when I say these things, I'm not trying to be denigrating to the elders. Like I said, like I come from my grandmother from rural Mississippi came to Chicago in the Great Migration. My father, 70 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be denigrating to the elders. I'm just speaking in fact on what I've seen happen to our elders and how they have had their minds tricked. You know? You said good on the black attorney. Good on the black attorney for blocking the white guy from getting a copyright for tendernism. I hope he keeps it and doesn't give it up to that guy. Yeah, I hope he keep it too. For real. Because you know the guy just gonna take it and use it for himself. Because Walter Johnson gonna tell him he don't want it. He don't want it. And then the guy gonna be able to profit off of it. And I'm not trusting Nick Yepperman, the owner. I'm not trusting him to do the right thing and just give it to Walt and give all the money to Walt. He's not gonna do that. Oh man, Kimberly Owens, I appreciate that. I appreciate the donation. That mean a lot to me, Kim. Thank you so much. That's love. It mean a lot to me and my family. That's a lot. That's love. Darius Thompson, what's happening with you? I appreciate the support. Bell says Walter doesn't understand the power he has, and I really believe that. I don't think he understands the power that he has. That's very, very true. You know. Um, And I hope at some point, man, somebody can get through to him and understands that he has a lot of power and he holds the value for that restaurant. He the face of the restaurant all the way. Too many Uncle Nearest situations happening. Yeah, for real. And Charlie X says it seems like he's so invested in that place that he's comfortable where he's at. I feel that, but at least get that trademark for your children, right? And see, that's the thing too. I don't know where Walt's family is. I don't know. I don't know if he has children or grandchildren or what. I'm not sure. But I would assume if he really was close, if he had family that was really close to him and under him, that they would be able to reach him and get him to understand things, even though people are going to do what they want to do, regardless of what we say and what advice we give. People are going to do what they want to do, and that's life. But like, man, we said Walter probably also suffers from a lifetime of low self-esteem. In a sense, he probably doesn't believe he's worthy of having good things. Exactly. And see, I spoke about that. Even when I was talking about like how older black folks were tricked and they're thinking if you don't scratch and claw for something, you don't deserve it, right? I spoke about like how like a lot of older people don't believe they deserve good things, right? Even in the show Good Times, at times Florida Evans, I don't think Florida thought that they deserved good things. I don't think she does. She thought they deserved nice things in life. She thought, hey, we in the projects, we okay with just getting by, we all right with just just making it. It is what it is. This is our life story. It's okay. We got each other, but no, they deserve good things too. And again, a lot of our elders really that happened to a lot of our elders where they were made to believe that they don't deserve nice things, due to the racism that ran rampant in their era, you know. um if Walter started a business, my ad would be like, if you don't want to have the owner all up in the videos cooking, come to Mr. Walter. Yeah, that's what exactly talking to Grubbin Media. For real. That's what if you don't want them all in the videos, definitely had that approach. Said sell tendernism merch. Definitely. Black Maul said that self-hate, the image of us that's pushed by mass media, is we are lazy and lack ambition. A lot of us subconsciously believe these negative images to be true, so we have to show I'm different. I'm different. I don't take no handout. I don't take no money. If you give me a large sum of cash, it's really black folks in this world because of how racism has done a number on our people. There are black people in this world. If you give them $20,000, $100,000, there will be some people that say, "Nah, I don't think it would be many, but it's gonna be some people that'll be like, I didn't work hard for that money. We don't need that. I ain't work for that. Don't give it to me. I'm a proud man. I'm a man's man." And somewhere, if somebody's doing that, and let's just say that video goes viral of a man denying $100,000, there will be a white supremacist in that comment section saying, "That's right. He's a man's man. That's right. You don't take no handouts in this world. You work for everything you got." Not knowing it's people that work all their life and never see that in a bank account at all, ever in their life, 100K. You know? Oh yeah, you got to go. You got to go. But then look, we be saying, man, ain't nobody doing that. We be saying that, right? We be saying ain't nobody gonna do that. But look at what happened with Jeffrey Owens. Look at what happened with Jeffrey Owens. Exactly, that's my point. Jeffrey Owens got $25,000 from Nicki Minaj while he was working in Trader Joe's, and he gave it to charity because I didn't work for that money. If I would have done a service for her and she gave me $25,000, then I would have gladly accepted it, right? But I didn't work for that 25K, so I gave it to charity. But giving it to a charity, and a lot of these charities, it hasn't been proven that the money that these charities get really goes to the right causes that they're promoting a lot of times either. So you know what I mean? So yeah, I want to tell y'all, black folks, somebody give y'all something for free, take it. Don't be up in here talking about I ain't work for it. I just don't feel good because I didn't work for it. Man, look, somebody come up to you or Keith Lee, somebody offer y'all $10,000, take that. Who cares if you didn't work for it? Don't matter. You deserve that. Sure. Bad enough we didn't get reparations. Sure. Take that paper. What's say Charlie say, Sabbatical said, Charlie, I relate to their pride, not age, especially because they tried to embarrass him. So he had to pretend he wasn't needy or destitute. No, and people a lot of times that's our pride, right? I don't want people to think I ain't got it. Man, in these days and age, in this time, a lot of us ain't got it. I will never sit up here and act like I'm rich to y'all. I'm trying to get by like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like really, really. After I got laid off from my job, I'm trying to get by. Cause this job I got ain't paying me nowhere near what I used to make. Nowhere near it. Right? So I get it where people be like, I'm prideful. I don't want to seem like I ain't got it. But listen, everybody ain't got it right now. A lot of folks ain't got it right now. So take that money. Take that money. Cause a ton of us out here be in the grocery store looking like be in the grocery store like, hey, this is ridiculous. A lot of us be in the grocery store window shopping. So yeah. Charlie say, I'm pissed because I know what's about to happen. Walt's face is going to be over t-shirts and all type of merchandise with the word tendernism. And he ain't getting a dime. He ain't getting 1 red cent from it. His face gonna be everywhere. His tagline gonna be everywhere. All of that, man. His word, it's gonna, man. And I hate that. Cause he gonna get they exploiting him already. and they gonna run it till they can't run it no more. Black Mall crazy, man. Dr. X dropping that knowledge, man. Said the average American has little to nothing saved in their bank account. Most people could use free money. Never apologize for accepting free cash. No, never, never. And again, I know a lot of our people get told. A lot of our people get told, hey, you shouldn't accept this, you shouldn't accept that, yada yada yada, all that. And again, the same people telling us we shouldn't accept stuff, accept things on a regular basis. Brett Favre probably would be the main person out here. We don't take no handouts. You work for everything you got. Was out here scheming and scamming to get a volleyball, or a volleyball gymnasium built at his alma mater, stealing from people on welfare. And he didn't make all that money in his lifetime, being a quarterback, being a Hall of Fame quarterback in the NFL, and still was not trying to use his money. He said, we gonna find somewhere else, somebody else to pay for this, even if we gotta steal, even if we gotta steal this paper from even if we gotta steal the funds from people who are on who are receiving SNAP benefits, etc. Yeah, you better, hey, look, take that $20. He said, Talking Grub Media said, Mac, Walter is from that era where black people felt they needed a white person to do something big. When Don Cornelius, shout out Don Cornelius from Chicago, Illinois, baby, when DuSable High School, when Don Cornelius started Soul Train and James Brown was on the show, he asked Don who was he with. Here's what he asked him: Who you with? Now, what big white man you with? Now, what big white man you with to help you do this? Now, he said he didn't believe that it was all Don Cornelius, and he owned the show. Dang. I can imagine James Brown. Let me tell you something. Don, let me tell you. Who you with, Don? Where's the white man? Where's the white man behind the curtain? Don, where's the white man? The white man's gonna pay me. And he pay you too, Don. He said Don C was a smooth brother, man. Shout out to that man, Don Cornelius, man. For sure. Black Mall says only broke people feel like free money is wrong. Rich people are literally rich due to them getting a lot of ish for free. They write everything off as an expense. Yes. Rich people, they get the most stuff for free. You would think like, man, it should be people that don't have it. They get stuff for free. Rich people get more free stuff than anybody ever. They getting all type of VIP stuff for free. They don't be paying for nothing when they go to these restaurants. They be getting all type of clothes for free, everything. So that's true, Black Mom. Y'all on here spitting that gospel today. Yeah. So SL asks, can I explain what the story is about? So look, what's going on, SL? So there's this restaurant called Destination Smokehouse in Murrieta, California. Right? You from Cali, SL? Where is Murrieta at? Right? There's a black guy that has made the restaurant go popular, elderly black man named Walter Johnson. You see him holding up some barbecue and it's just so tender it's falling off the bone. And he get up and start walking away after he let the food fall off the bone. He talk about how tender the food, how tender the meat is. He be like, this tendernism, right? So because of these viral videos, that the actual restaurant Destination Smokehouse has garnered a lot of popularity. People are visiting the restaurant in droves. They're visiting the restaurant in droves. It's making a lot of money, right? So now people, we come to find out that the elderly black man does not own the restaurant. It's owned by a white guy, right? Keith Lee went to the restaurant to go visit, Unc, and try the food out. Keith Lee, the food reviewer. When he came, he was trying to give the Unc, he was trying to give Walter Johnson, the elderly black man, a $4,000 or $5,000 tip, right? He was refused access to Walter Johnson. They didn't want to take the tip because Keith Lee was making it clear he was trying to give that tip to Walter Johnson. They like, no, the security then was not letting him take the tip, wasn't letting him give the tip, and none of that, right? We come to find out that the owner was like, yo, they didn't want to accept the tip because he wanted all of the workers to be tipped and not just Walter Johnson, right? Now, mind you, Walter is the reason why this I'm sure, okay, I'm sure the food is solid, but Walter is the reason why the restaurant is booming in the first place. He didn't drove all the traffic in there. He's got the traffic coming to the restaurant with the viral videos of him, right? And he not getting, they denying him tips and all of that, right? And then when there was a video, what's my man name, man? Godly. Willie D. Willie D sat down and interviewed the owner and Mr. Walt Johnson. Walt Johnson saying he didn't want the tip, he don't need the tip and all of that. And yeah, it just feels very like they're exploiting him. They're using him to, bring traffic into the restaurant, but they don't want him to get paid handsomely for real because they want to keep him there because the moment he realizes he's worth, they think he might be they think he might be gone from the restaurant. Now, what makes this story even more interesting is that there was a black attorney because Walter Johnson, the elderly black man that make the videos go viral, he coined the term tendernism, right? And also it was Walter Johnson's idea for them to sell barbecue. Black Mall and them told me that the restaurant was just a coffee shop at first. Walter Johnson, the elderly black man, convinced them to sell barbecue as well. So all of the whole restaurant, barbecue themed restaurant, was his idea, right? But they denied him getting a certain amount of tip money. And then you find out that a black attorney was trying to copyright. He was trying to what's the word I'm looking for? What was the word he was trying to trademark or copyright the word tendernism. And he got it, and he was trying to give it to Walter Johnson. He was trying to give it to the black man so he can have that trademarked and copywritten and all of that. Trademark. He's trying to get it trademarked. I said copywritten. He's trying to get it trademarked. And no, he already got it. The black attorney got it trademarked, and he was trying to give it to Walt. Walt said he didn't want to accept the trademark at all. Right? Come to find out, the white owner, tried to get the word tendernism trademarked. He tried to get it trademarked. So like, what? You trying to go behind that man back and make money and all that? It's very exploitive. Now we're hearing that the owner bought Walter Johnson a Benz, that he bought him a Benz now. But a lot of people feel like that's just damage control. That's their PR machine trying to clean up a lot of people's criticisms of how things have been taking place inside of Destination Smokehouse and how Walt seems to be, in a situation where he don't know he getting taken advantage of at all. Charlie X is giving Cadillac Records. Man, they like, yo, Walt is out here getting used up, and they using Walt as a mascot while they getting the paper. To the Benz, that's some Cadillac Records. Yeah, talking about a Benz. Hey man, hey, give me my paper for real. And I think what's really sad is that Walter is an elderly man, and so I think it's easy to take advantage of some elders. Certain things they don't know, they don't understand. And I'm not questioning Walter Johnson's intellectualism. I'm not saying he's not smart. What I'm saying is that sometimes elders can be, people be manipulating them in many ways, and I don't think he really understands his value. Because Walter Johnson can go start his own restaurant. It could be a hole in the wall. If he cooking that food like that, and he keep making them videos with that personality, with that showmanship, with that charisma, oh man, he gonna make a killing on his own. Lil Jacob, that's crazy. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful, Lil Jacob. In a major way. That's very disrespectful. And the owner is messing up the bread because people don't want to see him. They want to see Walt. Exactly. Walt walking around there with 4, 5 security guards. And to an extent, I understand that because he's so popular that people might bum rush him. But yeah, they ain't coming to see you, Otis. They come to see Walt. You think, Nick, get up out the way. You ain't the show. The worst thing about it, they are waiting for Walter to croak so they could make their location a legendary tourist attraction. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it, y'all. And that's the sad part about it. And he comes from an era where they believe that hard work gets you exactly. And that's what I was saying, SL, when I brought up like his age. I think he doesn't want to accept the tip because he's from that era where they were taught that you got to work hard for everything. And if you didn't work hard and you didn't sweat and almost die for the money, then you don't deserve it. Pride was instilled in black folks to make them believe that they weren't good enough to receive gifts. And getting handouts was you taking a handout. You should work for everything. Black folks were tricked into believing that they need to sweat and nearly pass out for every little dollar they get. And I think Walter feels like because I didn't work and I didn't do a service for this money that he don't deserve that. Because a lot of men and women of his age and that era, black folks, were made to believe that, hey, we shouldn't be taking gifts because white supremacy tried to put that on black folks that if you take gifts, you're not an upstanding member of society. You are a person who is just out here looking for handouts and all of that. Like, and it is, man, that myth has been riddled into black people to believe that you have to work hard. See, if you work hard, you just gonna get ahead. That's a myth. There's so many people that work hard in this lifetime that never get ahead ever. They work and sweat, scratch and claw, and they never get what they truly deserve. Because it's not about what you know, it's about who you know and what type of connections you have. Point blank, period. It's all about the connections you have and if you're born into the right family, all of that. But black people, man, were tricked into thinking that we didn't deserve anything nice unless we damn near died for it. And that's the same type of ideology. I know it's a TV show, the same type of ideology that kept the Evans family in Cabrini Green. Because Florida thought JJ, you don't need to be making that type of money off paying somebody. We don't need no we don't need no $5,000 for a painting. Who needs that? JJ, take that $20 and be happy and proud that you got $20 for this painting. We don't need all that money. Meanwhile, they in the projects and they struggling. They struggling to get by. For real, man. James Evans, stuff going on with his job. It be issues at his job. They not making the money they need to make in order to leave. In Florida, Evans, JJ, we don't need. Where'd you get all this cash? We don't all this cash to paint that black Jesus. You don't need no $500 to paint no paint. Just take $10 and just say you grateful for that. It's too much money. We ain't never had that much money, and we don't need that much money because we ain't never had it. And we all right with not getting that much money because we didn't get by without getting that much money all our lifetime. You know? What y'all say? I'm looking at what y'all saying. Wait, let me see. Y'all talking some talk up in here. What y'all saying? CEO is messing up Walter's money. He trying to be all in the videos dancing. Walter needs a pro bono lawyer. Facts. Walter family needs to step in to prevent him from being finessed. And that's the thing too. I don't know if we don't really know if he got family or not. You know, we would assume that he has it because he's elderly, and you would think he got a wife or kids and grandkids and all of that. But y'all know it's elderly people who never have married, who never had children. You know what I'm saying? And they other family members have passed on or whatever. So, or they are kind of like estranged from their people. Talking and Grubbing Media made a great point. Talking Grubbing Media. I always put that "and" between your name. Sorry about that, brother. He say, I may have disagreements with Shaq on some things, but he knows his worth. Lakers tried to lowball him on his second deal. They wanted to pay him 80. They tried to lowball him. Yep. And then he wanted the highest value. Absolutely. And I always respect that. Know your worth. Because these people got that money, right? When they be like, they'll sit here and be like, they try to act like they don't got it. They got it. They got this money for real. So go ahead and get what you worth all the way. Say your Florida Evans voice is fun. Florida Evans always. JJ, where'd you get all this cash? JJ, we ain't never had this much money and we don't need it. Man, the Evans family could have won $1 million. If JJ would have got it from the lottery, we playing that lottery. If JJ would have won $1 million from gambling, she would have been, JJ, this gambling is not good. If they had FanDuel back in the day and JJ won $1 million off FanDuel, Florida would have been, JJ, what the gambling is not okay. Damn, we okay with what we got. We eat oatmeal every day, and that's all right, JJ. And look, I love Esther Roll. Like for real, let me stop because I love good times. But sometimes Florida made me mad. But actually, Esther Roll is real because Esther Roll fought for her to have a husband on this show because they tried to make the show just a single mother with kids, and she fought to have a husband on that show. Hey man, why you ain't tell me nothing? Okay. Um, hold on. What Dahlia say? Dahlia say it's poverty logic. I don't even blame my grandparents for having it. It helped the family survive decades, but it's not useful now. Time to thrive, not just survive. That's absolutely correct. And again, I don't blame my grandparents really because we know what happened to our people, man, and our people were tricked in the worst way. We were made to feel bad about everything. Racism did a number on our elders and the generations before us. So, like, I get that, a lot of the way of thinking is really not their fault. It's just the way white supremacy worked and how it was able to trick our people, and man, it's terrible. It brainwashed a lot of our folks, you know? Yeah, and Lil Jacob is telling the real. The mental brainwashing was so ingrained into our collective psyche during slavery that it affected generations of us. Yep. It was so ingrained into our psyche from slavery and Jim Crow and systemic racism, all of that. We were brainwashed in the worst ways, you know? Hold on, y'all. Mimosa said I was pissed at Florida when she told them to take down the Black Jesus. Man, what? And all the good things was happening to them. When JJ put up that black Jesus that he painted on the wall, or did James hang it up, or JJ or Michael, I forgot, right? Um, all the good luck was happening when JJ painted the black Jesus. And Florida was so mad that he had a black Jesus in a house. She was up in there. Jesus don't look like this. He not black. He got blonde hair, blue eyes. That's the Jesus I know. The Jesus I know don't look like this. Get him off this wall immediately. She was mad. How dare JJ paint up Jesus black? How dare he do that? But that is really how people were, you know. Man, and I don't think Florida Evans thought. I mean, Florida Evans. I don't think Esther Roll thought like that in her real life. You know what I'm saying? But that was the character's actions on the show. Talking Grub Media says, Mac, we've also been conditioned that black people are the biggest racial group that take handouts while other races work hard. Yes. And that is the biggest lie around, because well, I'm telling y'all, man, y'all know it. Wealthy white folks be getting handouts like crazy. They get a lot of stuff handed out to them. They get a lot of things for free, and they try to tell black folks they work hard for everything. That's not true. Like I told y'all, if they could get food stamps, if they can get SNAP benefits, they would use them. Regardless of them being millionaires and billionaires, they would use that money for real, because they don't want to pay nothing to. And let me tell you that I'm for real, right? They want to get stuff without paying too. I just told y'all the story about my father hooking up Jim Belushi's cable. This after Jim Belushi was in the Blues Brothers and all of that. My dad, he didn't want to pay no monthly cable bill. Still, after making that money, and he wanted a one-time fee on cable, and he knew my father could provide that service, so he paid my father handsomely, so he didn't have to pay no monthly cable bill. And Jim Belushi done made his paper and all of that, and what he still wasn't trying to pay no monthly cable bill. Looked at my father and say, "Hey, Mike, I'm gonna pay you so you can do my cable, man." He told my dad, "Man, I want that free cable too. I want that free cable." So there you go. There you go. To Elon Musk is a welfare queen for sure. Elon got about 4 baby mamas too, and all them kids. Woo, black person do that. Dude, we are horrible, despicable people. Elon got baby mamas on top of baby mamas. Dr. X says the rich also don't like to pay taxes. The billionaires, with all the loopholes they find in the tax system, pay at most around 1% in taxes. That's a fact. That is a fact. Dahlia says, I finally started doing my own research and realized that we've been lied to for so many years. We've not been leading in prison stats, welfare, or debt, including child support. And yeah, I believe that, because I told you when I was in grad school in Arkansas, they always say black folks, black women just be baby mamas. Man, I saw single baby mamas, the amount of white single baby mamas I saw in Arkansas. What? I say, oh yeah, I ain't gonna never forget this here. If they make it seem like that's just a black woman and black man thing. What, in Arkansas? White dudes is getting gone on their baby mama and wasn't taking care of the kids or nothing, telling them bye consistently. SL says there are also some hints of respectability politics. That's why I respect Ryan Coogler so much. What's his, and is still unapologetically black at the end of it all. Yes, and he doesn't code switch. He talks in his accent that he has. He doesn't try to shift from that. He still is professional. And he still is professional and what's the word I'm looking for? Still is professional and buttoned up while still being true to his roots all the way around. And that's extremely respectable. That's sad that Jim was wealthy and still trying to get over instead of paying his cable bill. Jay, he still thought he didn't want to pay that cable bill. Dahlia says, how can we be leading the baby mama pack when our population has been stagnant for 10 plus years? That's an absolute fact. Absolute fact. So shout out to Ryan Coogler and the cast for the Oscar nominations. I saw that, man. Shout out to them for sure. Little Jacob said it's sad that even in the 21st century, there are still black folks walking around with inferiority complexes. Yeah. It's at Owsley County, Kentucky. Ain't got black folks out there. They lead the stats in welfare. Owsley County, Kentucky. I can imagine ain't no black folks there, but they lead the stats in welfare. I got to screenshot that Owsley County. I got to use that for my discussions, man. Charlie X be coming with that knowledge. Y'all coming with that knowledge. What y'all talking? Y'all crazy. Talking about JJ, you ain't gonna win SummerSlam, JJ. Hey, look where he at. What is that? Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money. Don't you worry. I said, hey. Oh, man. Man. What Michael Jackson say? You can't win, child. You know, like I always say, when people try to paint black folks as the face of degeneracy, I always say, every group has degeneracy within every ethnic group. Is white folks tend to not want to display their degeneracy often on TV and stuff. And even when they do, they frame it in a way that they would never frame it for black folks, right? And that's real. You can't win, child. Oh my lord, man. He said, I'm gonna ask this again. How did you feel when D Kwame Brown hopped on your live? I mean, it was cool to like engage in debate, but I couldn't even really get my points off SL because he really wasn't trying to let me talk. He would try to list out 10 points. And then when I try to give my analysis on a point, he'd be, can I talk? Can I finish talking? Can I finish talking? I hate people that do that, but that's how people debate like that when they know that what they saying is BS and they don't want you to like intervene on certain things that they saying. So like, yeah, he really wouldn't let me talk like that. And when the man said, like for real, like he wouldn't let me, he tried to list off 10 different points. I try to interject on the third point or try to like make a point or refute an argument in that point. And he, can I talk? Can I finish talking? Can I finish talking? Man, what? He tried to say a whole bunch of stuff, hoping you forget everything he said, hoping you forget most of it. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, when the man said Zydrunas Ilgauskas was the equivalent of Pau Gasol, that lets you know what he was on. I said, oh yeah, I know what time this is here. Big Z is the equivalent of Pau Gasol. I know where this. I know what you on, brother. Because ain't nobody that knows basketball ever thought Zydrunas Ilgauskas and Pau Gasol was the same player by any stretch of the imagination. None whatsoever. See, for real. Said Kwame was a bad faith debater when he said Big Z was as good as Gasol. That's very, very disingenuous. Because ain't nobody ever thought that. And nobody in the league would say that but him. Nobody would ever say Big Z and Pau Gasol was the same thing. Nobody. Because that's the furthest thing from the truth. I watch Big Z them regularly because being a LeBron James fan, I watch the Cavs. Big Z struggled with any big that was athletic and could jump a little bit. He struggled with them because Big Z was not a great rebounder. Despite being 7 feet tall, he was not a great rebounder, right? He had that little 15-foot jumper and all of that, but Big Z wasn't, man, no. Couldn't rim protect well like that either. Yeah, Big Z at that point definitely was said Big Z was not the rebounder, passer, or playmaker that Powell was. Yeah, that man said he said Big Z, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and Pau Gasol was basically the same player. Look at the numbers. First he said, I look at numbers too much. And then said, look at the numbers for that. And I said, wait a minute, bro. Look at the numbers. Like, he like, well, they ain't too far off in points. Big Z averaged 13. Pau Gasol averaged 18, like, or 17 for his career. We're not looking at career numbers. They best years. Who was getting to it? Pau Gasol is a Hall of Famer. Got like over 20,000 points. Big Z don't got no 20K points, bro. What's we doing? Despite him having experience going against them, I don't think nobody would ever say Pau Gasol and Big Z was the same. I don't care if he played. Ain't nobody gonna ever say that. And shout out to Big Z. Like I said, I like the Big Z. Shout out to Big Z, man. He was trying to hold down the fort in Cleveland, riding it out with Braun. But ain't nobody ever that played them would ever say Big Z and Pau Gasol was the same. He the only one that would say that. And the only reason he's saying that is because he trying to make it seem like Kobe did something just astronomical winning with Pau Gasol. He trying to big up Kobe by saying that. And you don't got to do that because Kobe is an outstanding player on his own. Because they always say LeBron fans try to diminish other players. Um, that's why he try to he's also because they got rid of him for Powell. So exactly. So he be like, oh, Pau Gasol, he was equivalent to Big Z. Right? You can love Kobe Bryant and be honest. Big Z and Pau Gasol was never the same player. No. So we got to get another player on his live. Somebody call Swaggy P and get him on. Man, he's a Mac Wiz idea. Man, he at his house chilling, staying out of the cold weather, bundled up. Not bundled up, but in the good heat, chilling out for real. Say AR is a groove killer. Braun in his bag right now, and AR is going to decrease their flow. Nah, I think you need Austin Reeves on that team, man. And Rich out of pocket for saying what he said too. Rich Paul out of pocket for saying that. He called me earlier. My pops called me earlier, though. But look, y'all, man, I'm finna get off this thing. It was a great live stream, man. I appreciate sitting here with y'all, chopping it up, talking about an array of different topics. But as y'all know, I gotta go. Gotta get off this thing, man, because I gotta work this job. But I want to thank everybody that came on the live stream. Thank everybody that showed love. Anybody that donated I appreciate it tenfold, and y'all helping me in my journey of being a full-time YouTuber. If you ever want us to donate to the channel, you can donate to the Cash App below. As y'all see it, $ Mac Miller 5, right? I thank y'all for the support continuously. And yeah, man. Until tomorrow. Oh, hit the like button too. Hit that like button, please, because I always tell y'all the likes keep my videos within the YouTube algorithm. And if y'all like the videos, my videos will get pushed in the algorithm a lot more. So please hit that like button for sure. Thank y'all so much. I'm going off this thing. Yeah, Charlie X said, let's get Mac to full-time status. Yes, I want to be a full-time content creator. That way, I don't have to be falling asleep at this night job trying to stay awake so I can get to some money, and they playing with my hours, man, you know? But anyway, man, thank y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.